Psalm 20, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. I'm going to teach on this one a little bit, just because I want you guys to understand the context of these psalms. Many of them, because David was a war king, were in the context of battles that he fought. And so I'm going to play this next excerpt. It's not necessarily a song, but it's a king in dire need in time of war. And I think if you guys know anything about Lord of the Rings, you'll figure out what scene it is. So Psalm 20. After the commercial.
Stressed out? Time to refresh your rhythm with
Lord, hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary, and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings, and accept thy burnt sacrifice. Grant thee according to thine own heart, fulfill all thy counsel. We will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God, we will set up our banners. Lord, fulfill all thy petitions. Know now that I, the Lord Savior, is anointed. Saveth his anointed. He will hear from his holy hand. With the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots, and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Hosanna, Hosanna. Save, save, Lord. Let the King hear us when we call. That scene was from Lord of the Rings when Theoden is telling his men, "Rally to me, to me!" And the demon-like war king of old who turned into a Nazgul, right? He comes on his dragon-like thing and takes the king's horse and shakes him and throws him off. A king in the heat of battle, especially one who's brave and is fighting at the head of his armies, is to be chiefly protected. You know, in ancient warfare, Alexander the Great fought from the front. He wanted to be in the lead because he wanted to show his men his bravery and that he was just like them, willing to die amongst them. But that being so, you chiefly protect a king that is very warlike in the heat of battle. And they would have certain things, especially if he was getting way ahead, right? Where his most loyal things or loyal soldiers or loyal combatants would legit put themselves like in harm's way to stop arrows from hitting him, spears from piercing. And so this call of David unto the Lord, think about that. You know, a king will call on his men for help, but when your soul is in, the balance of life and death, who do you really call on? Think about it. Who do you really cry out to? Lord, save me! There's actually a really powerful story. I told it at Bethel when I was a freshman playing football to the guys before our third or fourth playoff game. I think it was our third playoff game. There was once where David, how he conquered Goliath. There was once a time where he was fighting Goliath's brothers, and they actually had the upper hand on him. The scene actually reminds me a lot of what, Peter Jackson showed in The Lord of the Rings, Tolkien, right? Like his writings when they're at the Black Gate. Aragorn's being stepped on by that big, troll, and Legolas is trying to get to him in time. Well, that's kind of the scene, right, for David. Like he's about to be slain as an older king, right? Maybe in his 40s, 50s, The time kings would go to war would probably be from the time they were 18 to the time they were in their late 50s. Even Mike Tyson's fighting around, age 58, age 57? You can still fight a pretty great fight being in your 60s, early 60s, late 50s, but nothing really beyond that. But this image of this giant was about to slay him, and then I think his name was Abishag, his cousin. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, maybe it was something else. I'd have to reread it. But his cousin comes to his aid, just like Legolas running to rescue Aragorn, and he actually slays the giant before the giant kills David. So imagine, right, writing about your praises to God after your warfare, has ended. How would you give praise to God, recollecting all that God had done to save you, to establish your kingdom, to strengthen your kingdom? So, I know this one has a little bit more description to it, but I want you guys to have that awareness when you're listening to me sing these songs.